All right, I'm on hole number 9 of the Big Game 9-hole Cup. We're in practice. This is the Milano. I'm using Tommy's site to look at him because his site is being updated. How's the stuff? Okay. I'm not sure in the game whether there's been any hole that's been as drastically redesigned as this one. This hole was when it originally came out. Some of it, like the stuff that you see over here, is the same, and the stuff that you see up here is the same. But like this whole side right here and how we approach this hole is totally different. So what we're going to want to do here is run the ball up as far as we can. And the closer we can get, I think if you can get up into like 400 up in this area, maybe even farther than that, but we're trying to get, like, you can, if you bring out a big enough ball and you're in the right kind of wind condition, you can get over to the other side and you can drive the hell out of it. I've actually overdrove it and ended up in that sand. But if you can get up into this area and you got a big dog or a cataclysm, you can try and do a shot where you rough bump it onto this island, and then you've got a straight up wedge shot to the other side. And this is a tough hole. This is a tough hole just to get an eagle. I mean, we're not really shooting for Albie. I don't know that I've ever gotten an Albie on this hole. I've gotten on the green several times in 2, and it's very easy on this green. This green is like, here's the pin here in the front, and you're in it going downhill. So if you overshoot the pin, you're going to be off the backside. And even if you stick on the green, it is difficult. It is difficult. So let's think about how we're going to play this. Now, we used to play over to this side. You try and get up into this area. This was shot number 2. Shot number 1 was just to get over. And shot number 2, and then our actual eagle shot was from this distance. But now we can hit out into this area or this area and then try and either bounce off of this island and then bring it up and then go from here, or try and bounce off from this side and then try and get it onto this island. You can go for it depending on how much distance you get. So if you get way the hell up here, you can actually go to try and get on the green in 2. It's difficult because if you don't have it all right getting on the green and trying to get up there in 2, you can end up rolling off and mess yourself up. All right, let's think about what we're going to do here. We have no idea which way the wind's going to blow, so I'm going to just bring out. Let's bring out I'm going to bring out my biggest hitting stuff, but I want to bring out let's switch this bag up. I'm going to be able to use. I'm going to bring out. Now let's think about this. I got this bag here set up, but I want to switch because depending on where you're at, this is one of those holes that depending on where you are and what ball you're using, you may find yourself. So if you're, let's go look at it. In this drive area down here, we're bouncing off from this side going over. So if you bring out so big a ball that you can't get over to this area, but you're having to pull your extra mile back in order to get into this spot, well, your extra mile hits here and your big topper hits here. But if you're pulling your extra mile back in order to clear an area for you to be able to hit, now you're in big topper range, and big topper's got a ton more topspin than your extra mile. So your big topper may be the best bet. You can get that run going forward. So if you're bringing out something and we've got the right kind of wind where you could get over to the other side, then you need this raw power. APOC, extra mile, whatever it is that you hit the farthest. But if you're back in an area like this where you're actually having to pull it back a little, think about your big topper. Your big topper could work. So let's make sure I got the bag. The thing is that your second club needs to be either a big dog or a cataclysm. Whatever is the biggest monstrous hitting. Now you could use, if you got a Horizon, you could use a Horizon. It is a longer hitting wood, and it has a lot of topspin, and it has a lot of ball guide. So, I mean, it's not a bad choice. So in this situation, it's actually not a bad choice. It's got a lot of curl, which is one of the things that I really want in this type of, this is why I always have this type of club, a Cataclysm or a Big Dog, in my utility bag because it hits long, it's got lots of curl. I'm not really at that point worried too much about the accuracy. I want the options to be able to recover. So the Horizon actually might not be a bad club. And it gives you a pretty good ball guide. I'm going to bring my Cataclysm just because I can. Why not? We'll start off, and you need, I'm going to bring a side spin ball, something that's got some spin. We're probably going to end up with some freaking headwind, and that may or may not work. Hold on one second. All right. I talked to a man about a horse. I was going to be bouncing around while I was doing that. So let's see here. Let's see. What are my options if I need to switch to a bigger ball? Just to switch out. I suppose I could bring a 4-2-3. I could bring one of those dead balls if it comes to it. If I do need to switch to a bigger ball, but we'll try it out with a Kingmaker. We'll see which way the wind's blowing. Whether I'm bringing my number. Let me look at those bags. I can't remember. Did I do? I think I did 3 and 4. 3 Big Tapa, 4. I'm gonna switch that to. If I'm in that range, I'm going to switch it to that. There we go. I'll start off with the extra mile bag, and we'll see what I can get done. Pretty sure it's going to be a big topper. Pretty sure. What you got to watch out for here on the drive is, especially if we got tailwind, and what I've experienced here lately is it really seems like it carries. Like if you got tailwind, the winds may not be any higher than they normally were, but how much it affects the ball. And so it's downhill on this drive to the first bounce, and it carries it a long ways. So if you're doing a max overpower shot, I mean, it's going to affect the ball almost like 100%. So we had a 4-mile-an-hour wind. It's actually going to act like an 8-mile-an-hour wind pushing you down that hill. My opponent has a 3-power ball, top spin boost, and they're using an extra mile. Now, they got a maxed out extra mile trying to get it up there, and that's really a good way to go. I've got some of those 3-power top spin boost balls. Could probably get it up in there. I'm just going to use an extra Kingmaker just to see what it looks like. Now they took the wind out. Now they're putting a little bit of overpower on it. And you can see how close they were on that. That's a good spot to be right there. That is a great spot. 420. Anything over 400 is awesome. I'm going to use my number 3 bag. We're going to run all of the top spin. It's 2.1 per ring. And I'm okay if it pushes me off a little bit to the right. I definitely don't want to go to the left. Isn't it perfect? Now it's probably like 380 or 390. 380. You really want to try and get out there to 400. 400 works much more better. You can see from where they hit it, they're going to be, I'm trying to do exactly what they're trying to do, is just rough bump it. I don't care where it ends up on that little pad, but just like getting it onto that little pad is the key. Not saying it's easy to get it onto that pad, but trying to get it on that pad. And I'm going to be a little bit short of where I think I need to be a little bit farther forward in order to get the window to try and get over there. And I got a shit ton of work to do on this shot. And they are in the catbird seat right there. Nice shot. Nice. That will work. Okay, I did give myself a window. As long as you got a window right here, you got a shot. Okay, 3-1. It's 1 point. I'm going to do 2 rings. I'm going to put a little bit of curl to bring it back over. Hitting it perfect. And we'll see if I can get my bounces right. There's bounce number 1, there's bounce number 2, and get some roll. Not enough. I'd have to do overpower to try and get that bounce to hit in the rough to then let my topspin push me out. Hell, they got to be in mid wedge. I think those 3 power topspin boost balls will definitely work to get you up there. You can bring out a bigger power ball, like a 5 power ball, if we've got any kind of tailwind or pure side wind, and you can possibly get over to the other side. I'm taking 2, he's taking 3. I'm going to hit it to here so that we can see what that shot would look like if you're just bleeding off. Oh, they made that. Look at that. They made it. What was I thinking? I wasn't even paying attention to them. Damn it. I don't have any more practice tokens. There you have it. That was me. That was me. You can see, watch my opponent on that, and that's what you should do. There you have it. Now, let's see what I have in my inventory that could help me out. I do like the 3 power. So this is the... This isn't the same ball they were using, but it's very similar. So the 5 topspin boost will definitely help you get over there. And think about doing that with the big topper, especially if we have like wind like today. It was a little teeny bit of headwind, but it was pretty slight. And I kind of liked where the wind was at today as far as like on the drive. It'll help keep you from overshooting it. I didn't like that my opponent put that little teeny bit of overpower on there. They got really lucky that they didn't clip that. I mean, there must have been like 2 blades of grass between them and the rough. Very close. Something like this can help. If you've got any balls that have topspin boost, even if you can't make it all the way over to the other side and start off over in this area, if you're starting off here and you've got some topspin boost, to get you, 400 is like right in this range. They were at what, 420, and I was like at 380, 378. So if you can get to the 400 range when you're taking your second shot, you've got more of a window here so that you can get bounce number 1. And what I should have did there was, it was like bounce number 1, and then I was bounce number 2, and then bounce number 3. There's not enough speed at bounce number 3 in order to get me through that rough. I needed bounce number 2 to be right here in front of it. So the distance, that extra 20 yards on the drive would get it so that I could get bounce number 1, bounce number 2, and then try and get through the rough. But that is definitely the way that we want to go, is to try and get on that island. Now, it's possible, like I said, to try and get over where you can get your bounces such that you can clip and then try and end up on the green side, but there's a hell of a lot of risk involved with that. This is a shot right here that we can get down to get that eagle, but you could potentially try and get up there. I wouldn't think of this hole as an Albie hole. This hole is try and get eagle, because this is the minimum score on this hole is going to be birdie. I mean, the mass majority of the people that are out there, I would be surprised if 1 in 100 people get an Albie. But there's probably only going to be maybe 25%, maybe 30% of the people that are going to get eagles. So if you can come out here and get an eagle, what we would normally think is minimum score, you're already shot up on a big portion of the people that are in the bracket. So this is a hole here that you really want to bring out the right stuff in order to maximize your chances of getting up there. And if you can get into this area up here, I think the horizon actually might work really good, because it will give you good. Now, where my opponent was out up here, they were able to get it done with their sniper. But you could, from this, if you wanted to get good ball guide, if you've got an upper developed horizon, a horizon would work. So you have some options on your second club, but you're going to need a big hitting club. For most of us are going to need a big hitting club. All right, that was hole number 9 of the Big Game 9-hole cup. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, if you've watched all the videos, I shot a video for each one of the holes individually, because we've got new pin placements. So new look at the Milano course. I really like this course. It's been around forever and a day. And hopefully we will, hopefully I'd really like to see them when they come out with these, because we've got enough courses now that they've come out with new hole pin placements, where we have one round with the old pin placement, and the next round because that's how they do it in a regular tournament. They'll move the pins, especially on the weekend round. They'll move the pins to the hardest spots in the hole. Like, you thought the course was bad until the weekend round. The weekend round, they put the pin placements in the worst spots available, and it makes you change up your shots. So this course, it doesn't look like it's affected any of the holes as far as like how we're going to take the shot. Some of them, hole number 1, we can't really kind of go for the hole in one like we used to. You're going to have to, you could get up on the green, but you may not be able to just like go for the hole in one. But I do like it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully everybody has a great tournament.